Hi, this is Imogen Lamport from Inside Out Style, coming to answer your colour and style questions. First question today comes from Jean. How to get ideas from others for clothing to wear, because most photos are of thin people, not overweight. It's hard to translate that to my size with having extra weight. And I really understand this. This is going to be one of those things that you can, a lot of Instagram influencers are very slim, a lot, the models, the actresses, many people you see out there, especially in the fashion world, are very slim, not just slim, but on the very slim side. And so you can feel like, well, how do I even find, ideas for me when it's on bodies that look nothing like my own? And this would be where I would be looking to. There are actually quite a lot of bloggers, fashion style bloggers, who are larger in size, that they are not the skinny models. And I think, there's certainly quite a lot of them out there, that could be something you could search for to see if you can find them. Again, though, one of the things might be that they're often very young. And if you are older, that their style doesn't really translate to you, but not all of them are. And I think that's one of the things that the women in my style program, 7 Steps to Style and Evolve Your Style, really enjoy, is that they are seeing outfits on women of all ages and all sizes. That it doesn't matter what your size, you can still be stylish, but it is hard when you're looking for inspiration when everybody out there is a very different size and shape from you, to kind of go, well, how are they putting those clothes together? And maybe that tucking in just doesn't work for me like it would on a slim person. The way they're styling might not be the same. So this is where I'd be looking for some of the larger size bloggers. There are plenty out there. I'd call them, normal size people, but, in the fashion world, they're plus size, which is a terrible way of seeing people, just normal people in clothes. And putting their clothes together in stylish outfits. So that would be something I would be looking for. And I'm not sure that they're the same on Instagram as well. It's just a matter of finding them. Sometimes it's a matter of finding what is the hashtag they use, or, like doing some Google searches to see what it is you can find. And hopefully you'll find someone who gives you a bit of inspiration. But I do know that, learning a bit about, what works for you, how to put outfits together, all that really helps for when you are putting together your outfits, no matter what your size is. But yes, I know it's hard when you go, everything out there is very, we're seeing one sort of image, and that can be hard when you don't look anything like that. Donna has asked, finding clothes that fit properly at a price that I, as a working class woman, can afford. Both being short and plus size is a challenge. One or the other is doable, although plus size is easier than short, but how to do it both together. Now, I have had plenty of plus size petite clients, and this is one of those things that it is really hard to find clothes. And this is where you will have to have alterations. There is no other way. And the reason is as they make clothes wider, to fit larger sizes, they also make them proportionally longer. Now, one of the things I have learned is most people, when they put on weight, they only put on weight sideways. They don't suddenly get taller at the same time. But the reason they make things longer is that when we look at the proportions of a garment, it looks more normal, more like, the smaller size garments when we just make it longer as well. So what happens, particularly if you're petite, you can end up with, a massive amount of extra fabric in your clothes because they've made it longer as well as wider. And in fact, one of the things I found very interesting, I did this little experiment one day, is I went into a Target or somewhere like that where they had a regular, mannequin, and then right next to a plus mannequin. And what I did is I actually got on the little plinth next to the mannequin, and I took a photo of myself next to the regular mannequin just to notice what her proportions were in comparison to me. Now, I'm of average height, and of course she was already tall compared to me. Her legs came up to my waist. So, already out of proportion to a regular person. Then I stood next to the plus size mannequin, and you know what was really interesting? She was a head taller than the regular mannequin. And so this is where, that's how they make those clothes look kind of normal on a mannequin, because suddenly this mannequin is this giant with a lot more length through her. So you just have to think about it. It may look funny on a hanger. And the thing is, they are making clothes for hanger appeal. So because when you were walking to a store, most of the clothes you're looking at are hanging on hangers, they make them for hanger appeal. And a kind of short, wide garment hasn't got the same hanger appeal as a longer garment has. And so, you know, or more proportioned, it looks more proportioned. So therefore, you have to kind of just ignore that and then just try things on and go, if I can take it up to the right length, and this is where it might be worthwhile when you're going out shopping to take some pins with you to see if you can pin things up and go, would this work if I took, you know, the bottom foot off it? So it is one of those things to think about, but yeah, it's very hard when you're petite and plus size to get both the length and the width what you need, and there's really no petite plus size ranges that I know about. There may be some out there, and I'm more than, you know, I'd love it if anybody knows about them to let me know about them, but I would say you just have to assume you're going to do some alterations, whether you get this done or you do it yourself. But definitely thinking about that they are making clothes longer, so they're going to not fit you proportionally, so they're going to swamp you in that way, particularly when you are petite. So do assume you're going to be cutting the length off everything. And then as far as like, you know, where do I go when I'm on a budget? I mean, I'm actually thinking if you're on a budget, it's, you know, it could be looking at, you know, resale. So, you know, consignment stores and places like, you know, TJ Maxx, TK Maxx, depending what country you're in, Marshalls, those sorts of stores, you can get really great clothes, Nordstrom Rack, all that sort of stuff. You can get some great quality clothes at very reasonably priced, so they will last you. And I always think we don't want to go to the too cheap, really nasty fabric end of the market, because that stuff wears out really quickly. It's better to buy the best quality you can afford, but, you know, if it happens to be, you know, half a seasons ago, well, who cares really? But if it fits and it works for you in other ways, and if you can change you know, you can alter it to make it fit your body, that's really what you're after. So I think there's some few little tips if you are, you know, having this issue, because I know it is really common. It's very common to be petite and plus size, and the market really doesn't have anything much out there for you. So just assume that you will be taking length off everything, and don't expect things. If you walk into a store, it's that kind of thing. If you manage your own expectations, if you don't expect anything to be the right length, if you know that everything is going to be too long, you're not going to feel as disappointed when everything's too long as if you have an expectation that things are actually going to fit you without having to do anything. So it is kind of, you know, having that awareness that they are making things longer as they go wider, and therefore, because you are not growing taller, that you'll just have to take the bottom off a lot of things, or sometimes take things up from the shoulders, all those sorts of things as well. Well, thank you for those questions. Please do let me know what it is that you would like to know, and I will talk to you again soon. Bye for now.